Scarface, 1983, is a cinematic masterpiece synonymous with the image of Tony Montana and becoming a cultural icon for decades. The film catapulted many stars to fame, but unfortunately many of them are now gone forever. In this video, we will remember Scarface actors who tragically passed away, looking back at their careers and the legacy they left for cinema. Robert Loggia as Frank Lopez. Robert Loggia was born on January 3, 1930 in Staten Island, New York. He was 53 years old when he appeared in Scarface in 1983, playing Frank Lopez, a powerful drug lord and rival of Tony Montana, appearing in several key scenes, especially tense confrontations with Al Pacino's character. The role of Frank Lopez left a lasting impression on audiences, adding weight to the film that is now considered a Hollywood classic. In a career spanning more than 6 decades, Robert Loggia has appeared in many critically acclaimed films and television series, from An Officer and a Gentleman in Jagged Edge to Big and Independence Day. He is highly regarded for his versatility and ability to portray both villains and heroes. Behind the scenes, however, his personal life was not as smooth. His first marriage to Della Marjorie Sloan lasted from 1954 to 1981, nearly 3 decades together, but ended in heartbreak. The marriage was tumultuous as Loggia's career rose and fell, with frequent business trips, the pressures of work and fame gradually creating a distance between them. Although they had 3 children together, the cracks in their relationship eventually became irreparable. After the divorce, Loggia's personal life entered a lonely, uncertain chapter. It was during this difficult period that he met Audrey O'Brien, the woman who helped him through his midlife crisis and lifted his spirits. Audrey was not only his emotional support but also his devoted companion, helping him regain his confidence after many years of career ups and downs. They married in 1982, just a year after his divorce, and remained together for more than 3 decades until the end of their lives. Loggia often spoke of Audrey with deep gratitude in interviews, describing their relationship as a place of peace for him. In his later years, Loggia faced numerous hardships after being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease in 2010. The deadly disease gradually robbed him of the memory, clarity, and pride he had built up over decades in front of the camera. Once a strong and determined man, Loggia became increasingly withdrawn, avoiding the spotlight as his physical and mental health declined. Audrey was always by his side, caring for him with unwavering devotion, becoming his rock when the light of fame had long since faded. Robert Loggia passed away on December 4, 2015 at his home in Brentwood, Los Angeles, from complications related to Alzheimer's disease. He was 85. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $10 million, the result of over 60 years of dedication to the arts. Paul Shenar as Alejandro Sosa Albert. Paul Shenar was born on February 12, 1936, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was 47 years old when he appeared in Scarface in 1983, playing Alejandro Sosa, a cold, powerful Colombian drug lord and calculating villain, appearing in key scenes involving tense dealings and escalating conflicts with Tony Montana. Shanar's performance as Sosa is memorable, with his calm, ruthless, and cunning demeanor playing a major role in the film's impact. Before his rise to fame in Scarface, Paul Shenar was a respected figure on stage and television. He was a founding member of the American Conservatory Theater, ACT, where he lived out his passion through over 40 classic roles. Throughout her illustrious career, Shenar also had a deep and meaningful relationship with actor Jeremy Brett. Their relationship lasted from 1973 to 1978, leaving Shenar with lasting memories even after they eventually went their separate ways. The two remained bonded by friendship and mutual respect until Shanar's final days. But behind the bright lights and big screens, Paul Shenar quietly struggled with himself. Despite his intelligence and talent, he still had to live under the weight of social prejudice at the time, especially as a member of the LGBT community. He did not marry or have children, devoting his heart to art. After Scarface, he continued to have impressive roles. But deep inside, Shenar felt increasingly lonely and lost in the fame he had built. In 1983, at the height of his career, fate dealt him a bitter blow. Paul Shenar was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. He died on October 11, 1989, at the age of 53. His ashes were given to his close friend Thomas Wiley, a testament to the strong bond between the two men who spent Shenar's final days together. His net worth at the time was estimated to be $2 million. Harris Yulin as Mel Bernstein. Harris Yulin was born on November 5, 1937 in Los Angeles. When he appeared in Scarface in 1983, he was 46 years old and played Mel Bernstein, a corrupt cop who tries to blackmail Tony Montana, and appeared in key scenes that highlighted their strained relationship. His role helped to portray the intrigue and brutal underworld that Scarface brought to life, leaving a deep impression on movie audiences. Throughout his career, Yulin has been a familiar face with more than 100 roles on stage, television, and film. He has conquered audiences with diverse performances in Ghostbusters 2, Clear and Present Danger, Training Day, and the Ozark series. His personal life was also fraught with ups and downs. He was in a high-profile relationship with Faye Dunaway, which ended in turmoil after just a year together. In 1975, he married actress Gwen Wells, who was with him for nearly 2 decades until her death from cancer in 1993, leaving Yulin deeply saddened and with a void that has been difficult to fill. In the years following his tragic loss, Yulin found companionship and understanding with actress Kristen Lohman, and they married in 2005. However, his relationship with his stepdaughter Claire Lucido was not always smooth, and her death in 2021 deepened Yulin's quiet, withdrawn nature. He faced periods of depression and isolation, especially as his steady and admirable career had yet to reach the heights he had dreamed of. Harris Yulin died of heart failure in New York City on June 10, 2025, at the age of 87. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $44 million. But his legacy was much more than material wealth. Ángel Salazar's real name is Chichi. Ángel Salazar was born on March 2 in 1956 in Cuba. He was 27 when he appeared in Scarface in 1983, playing Chichi, Tony Montana's loyal friend who brought a touch of humor to the film's dark world, especially in the horrifying chainsaw scene in the final bloody battle at Tony's mansion. The role made Salazar a familiar face to Scarface fans. Salazar's life, like his character Chichi, has been a roller coaster. As a teenager, he escaped Cuba by swimming to Guantanamo Bay Naval Base, starting from scratch in New York. From amateur comedy shows where his catchphrase "check it out" became popular, he gradually made a name for himself in the entertainment industry. After Scarface, Salazar appeared in Punchline 1988, Carlito's Way 1993, HBO comedy specials 1993, and Last Comic Standing. Yet despite his talent and stage charisma, he never truly escaped Chichi's shadow or achieved the heights of fame he once dreamed of. Behind the scenes, Salazar faced equally dark personal tragedies. He fell into addiction, particularly cocaine, which ruined both his career and his personal life. Failed relationships, mounting debt, and financial instability kept him from having a stable life, although he continued to perform stand-up comedy until the end of his life. His final performance at the Laugh Factory in Reno, Nevada in July 2024, just a month before his death, was a testament to his enduring love for the craft despite the hardships. Ángel Salazar died on August 11, 2024, at a friend's home in Brooklyn at the age of 68. His death was determined to be due to acute drug toxicity from a combination of cocaine, cyclobenzaprine, and diphenhydramine, along with underlying hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $1 million, much of which had been wiped out after years of financial struggles. Miriam Colon as Mama Montana. Miriam Colon was born on August 20th, 1936 in Ponce, Puerto Rico. She was 47 when she appeared in Scarface in 1983, playing Mama Montana, a loving mother tormented by the path of crime her son, Tony Montana, has chosen. Every time Mama Montana appeared on screen, she left a lasting impression, embodying both the compassion and moral conscience that Tony no longer had. Behind her powerful and successful performances on stage and screen, Colon's life was filled with quiet sadness. Her first marriage to George Paul Edgar, which lasted from 1966 to 1976, seemed to promise happiness, but ended in heartbreaking loss when Edgar died after a long illness. His death left Colon alone, struggling with isolation even as her career took off. At the time, even as she enjoyed success with projects like One Life to Live, she found herself coming home every night to a silent battle. In 1987, hoping to find peace, Colon remarried, this time to Fred Valle, but even that marriage did not bring complete happiness. Irreconcilable differences combined with the pressures of work and the burden of past emotional traumas strained their relationship. She immersed herself in the arts, building a reputation through roles in the House of the Spirits and on Broadway. But behind the applause was a lingering loneliness. Her emotional pain was compounded by the loss of a family member to illness, a tragedy she rarely shared publicly, but which left a void in her heart that was difficult to fill. These losses, combined with the persistent stress in her personal life, meant that no matter how successful she became, she never found true peace. She went through a period of despair when the spotlight was turned off and she found herself alone in a room filled with mementos from her glorious past. Miriam Colon died on March 3, 2017 in New York City from complications of a lung infection. She was 80 years old. Her net worth at the time of her death was estimated at $5 million. But her most valuable legacy was her life devoted to art. John Carter as Vic Phillips. John Carter was born on November 26, 1927 in Center Ridge, Arkansas. He was 56 years old when he appeared in Scarface in 1983 and played Vic Phillips, a cold and sharp crime boss who appeared in a few brief scenes but helped to portray the brutal underworld depicted in the film. Despite his supporting role, Carter left a lasting impression with his calm performance and powerful presence. After Scarface and films like Badlands and The Hoax, Carter's life was plagued by personal pain that never went away. His greatest tragedy was the death of his son from a drug overdose, a shock that sent him into a deep depression. With no way out, Carter turned more and more to alcohol, using it to numb the pain but ultimately allowing it to destroy what remained of his personal life. 2 marriages he had once trusted ended in divorce, leaving scars that never healed. His relationship with his surviving children grew increasingly distant as he struggled to maintain his role as a father while drowning in his own storm. Despite his many years of dedication to the arts, with numerous supporting roles in film and television, Carter remained forever removed from the success he had dreamed of. John Carter died on May 23, 2015 of pneumonia at the age of 87. He died quietly and alone, leaving behind a modest career and an estimated net worth of $400,000, a figure that reflects the life of a dedicated artist forever overshadowed by personal tragedy. Richard Belzer as the Babylon Club MC. Richard Belzer was born on August 4, 1944 in Bridgeport, Connecticut. He was 39 when he appeared in Scarface in 1983 and played the Babylon Club MC, a small but memorable role that brought energy and subtle irony to the film's wild party scenes. Despite his brief appearance, Belzer left an impression with his signature sense of humor and charm, adding a unique color to the dark criminal world of Scarface. In addition to the glory and resounding success of his role as John Munch in the Law and Order series, Belzer's life was also filled with tragedy. As a young man, he suffered the pain of losing his sister in a car accident, a pain that haunted him throughout his life and filled his soul with a sadness that never left. His first marriage, to Gail Susan Ross, which lasted from 1966 to 1972, initially seemed happy but ended in arguments and deep hurt, leaving Belzer disillusioned and lonely. In the early years of his career, despite his wit and promise as a comedian, Belzer struggled with the darkness of substance abuse, seeking escape in drink and temptation. Depression crept in, pulling him further from the spotlight as he retreated into a private grief that only he could understand. Every successful performance, every laugh he brought to the audience was another attempt to hide the emotional scars that never healed. Richard Belzer died on February 19, 2023 in Beausoul's, France, from complications of respiratory disease. He was 78. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $16 million, a reward for a solid career in law, comedy, and his highly personal books. Margolis, better known by his stage name Alberto the Shadow. Margolis was born on November 26, 1939 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was 44 when he appeared in Scarface in 1983, playing Alberto the Shadow, a silent, cold-blooded, powerful assassin working for Alejandro Sosa, with intense action scenes, including the iconic assassination that Tony Montana foiled at the last minute. Despite his few lines, Margolis's deadly gaze and menacing presence are unforgettable. Behind a career that included stellar performances in Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and Darren Aronofsky films like Requiem for a Dream, Margolis's life was far from easy. He married Jacqueline and Margolis in 1962, a marriage that was solid but challenging, especially in the early years when both struggled financially. They lived in shabby New York apartments, struggling to pay rent for the small roles Margolis was given in off-Broadway productions. The worries didn't stop there. Their only son, Morgan Margolis, endured a tumultuous childhood, including a period of drug addiction, which put a huge strain on the family. Margolis found himself trying to hold on to a fading career while also supporting his loved ones through the storm. He suffered years of depression and felt forgotten by Hollywood, especially as his acting opportunities dwindled until his role as Hector Salamanca in Breaking Bad revived his fame and passion for acting. Even as his career was resurgent and he was honored with Emmy nominations and fan love, Margolis still bore deep scars from the countless challenges he faced. He died on August 3, 2023 at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City after a short illness at the age of 83. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $2.5 million, a modest figure given the breadth of his career. John Brandon as Immigration Officer Number 3. John Brandon was born on June 21, 1929 in Rego Park, New York. He was 54 when he appeared in Scarface in 1983, playing Immigration Officer Number 3, a small role in the opening scene where he sternly represents the cold, unforgiving power of the U.S. Immigration Agency in the face of a wave of Cuban refugees, including Tony Montana. Although only briefly on screen, Brandon's performance helped create the tense, fateful atmosphere of the film's opening moments. In addition to Scarface, John Brandon appeared in films such as Serpico and The Brink's Job, as well as many other popular television series. But behind these roles was a turbulent and lonely life. Brandon went through several failed marriages, each of which eroded his faith in love and distanced him further from the children he once loved. As his family relationship fell apart, Brandon retreated into isolation as the spotlight that once shone on him flooded. As Brandon got older, his financial situation became increasingly difficult. Despite decades of dedication to the arts, his supporting roles never provided the steady income he needed. Depression weighed heavily on him as his career never achieved the recognition he had hoped for. His failing health, coupled with undisclosed complications, further exhausted him, forcing him to live out his final years on the sidelines of Hollywood, consumed by regret and lingering sadness. John Brandon died on August 25th, in Middle Village, New York, at the age of 85. His net worth at the time was estimated at $200,000, a modest sum for a life devoted to acting. Victor Campos as Ronnie Echevarria. Victor Campos was born on January 15, 1935 in New York City. When he appeared in Scarface in 1983, he was 48 years old and played Ronnie Echevarria, a loyal ally in Tony Montana's gang, appearing in scenes involving criminal activity and undercover dealings. Despite his supporting role, Ronnie Echevarria did a great job portraying the dark and ruthless criminal world that Scarface depicts. In real life, Victor Campos's life was marked by quiet pain and tragedy. Despite a promising start as Rudy DeVillo in Cades County, his career slowly faded into obscurity, with supporting roles in The A-Team, Murder, She Wrote, and a few lesser-known films. Campos struggled with alcohol and drug addiction for years, which not only destroyed his health but also that of his family. His only marriage fell apart, leaving him with a fractured relationship with his two children, whom he loved dearly but could not fully father. In his final years, Campos faced profound loneliness as he battled prostate cancer, a battle that drained him both physically and emotionally. Once a strong boxer, he had to quietly accept the silent destruction of the disease. His dreams of a brilliant career and a complete family gradually ended in regret and loneliness. Victor Campos passed away on December 4, 2018 in Sherman Oaks, California at the age of 83. He passed away quietly, leaving behind a modest legacy with an estimated net worth of around $300,000, a figure that reflects the life of an artist who worked hard but achieved little glory, forever struggling with internal battles that were never truly healed. Mario Machado as the interviewer. Mario Machado was born on April 22, 1935 in Shanghai, China. He was 48 when he appeared in Scarface in 1983 and played the interviewer, a small but subtle role that provided a rare moment of calm amid the film's chaotic criminal world. Amidst gunfire and bloody intrigue, Machado's calm interviewer provided the audience with a brief moment of calm before the storm of violence resumed. Off-screen, Mario Machado's life was full of ups and downs. Despite gaining recognition for his role as Casey Wong in RoboCop and a cameo in Rocky III, his career was largely overshadowed by small roles, never really establishing himself as an actor. The unnamed pressures of unstable work and the harsh realities of the entertainment industry took their toll on his personal life, contributing to the breakdown of two marriages he had once believed in. After the breakups, Machado gradually distanced himself from his children, the people he had dreamed of giving a full and happy life to, but could not be close to. That emptiness became even heavier when he had to fight severe pneumonia in the last years of his life. With his health failing and his halo gradually fading, Machado lived his last days alone, filled with regret for a journey that could have been more brilliant. Mario Machado died on May 4, 2013 in West Hills, California at the age of 78. His net worth is estimated at $1 million, largely due to his radio career and quiet, consistent performances that left a mark on fans as a symbol of perseverance and dedication. Al Israel as Hector the Toad. Al Israel was born on April 16, 1935 in the United States. When he appeared in Scarface in 1983, he was 48 years old and played Hector the Toad, the ruthless Colombian criminal behind the infamous chainsaw scene that still sends shivers down audiences' spines to this day. Despite his brief screen time, Israel's portrayal of Hector the Toad left a lasting impression, becoming one of the film's most memorable images. After Scarface, Al Israel appeared in a few other films such as Carlito's Way and Dangerous Minds. But his career was largely limited to small, unnoticed supporting roles. Along with the spotlight, his personal life was fraught with difficulties. His only marriage collapsed after years of strain, leaving Israel burdened with the burden of being a single father. The financial burden, combined with the pressures of raising children, made it difficult for him to maintain stability, as his career never brought the security he had hoped for. Later, Al-Israel faced serious health problems that he never shared publicly, but which silently robbed him of his freedom and joy. He lived in increasing loneliness, increasingly distant from the short-lived fame he had enjoyed. All his efforts in the industry could not assuage his regret that he never achieved the personal happiness or career heights he had longed for. Al-Israel died on March 16, 2011 at the age of 75. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at $500,000, reflecting a modest career forged through perseverance through many challenges.